What's going on, guys? It's your boy DM Aaron Raphael Amin with the whole crew. We got Riley, we got JC, we got Ibrahim from LA, and we are kicking it. As always, check out our QR code. We got a bunch of cool stuff in there, like our socials, including Discord. We have our dice coupons. So if you want to get 10% off some dice, Dice Legion's library is ever expanding, so always check that out. If you don't have time to check us out constantly, check out our friends like TT Tomes and Mates of Fate. If you like movies and just need some inspiration, check out Beyond the Review podcast. But I always try to plug all the homies because I mean they're cool, so be sure to check them out. And at that point, unless any you want
to move the camera down just a little bit.
On you?
On us, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's probably better, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say speaker forever, hold your peace, and I didn't even have to. Just spoke. Okay. Any other objections before the wedding begins, before the ceremony starts? No?
Let's go.
Okay, sounds good. Well, last time, under the Dreamer's Flame, we found our heroes under the earth after defeating Galilea, better known as Maneater Mabel, and getting a very direct warning from her about proceeds coming to Weisgard. It was time to escape the ruins, and doing so proved to be a trial, as the vampires nearby were still sniffing out their trail. They hurriedly, rushedly, and dangerously climbed up through the hole in the ceiling that they had made prior, almost losing Lyra, Vincent, and others amongst the chase. Luckily, they found themselves under the clouded Dreamer's Flame, where the vampires seemingly could not walk. After essentially clearing the name of Pryor and Lacey, and allowing the Arcanists some refuge and inviting them to Phoenix Rest, a camp for refugees made by one of their accomplices. Friend might be too strong a word for Wine Marrow. And with that, their investigation, as done as it can be, our heroes left with Vincent and Lyra in tow back to Weisgard. On the road, there was a troop of bards who seemed to have a broken wagon. They needed help. And something about that troop, the Weisgard Whalers, made Narissa highly uncomfortable due to some experiences that they shared in the past. Finally, they made it back to Weisgard after a night in the Pleasant Wood, noticing that it seemed some Arcanists, Galileans, who knows, mages to be sure, found their way in the dark towards Weisgard. When they arrived, they headed to the Queensguard, where they met with an old friend, Grant, who told them if there was anything they needed to report, they needed to speak to Nyatus, the Nightbringer, whose domicile sits under the castle of Weisgard. Before leaving, some somber goodbyes were met as Vincent finally decided to take his leave, for Weisgard would not support him in his vengeance, his quest towards quelling this beast known as Maneater Mabel. So we find our heroes here in Weisgard, exiting the Queensguard as the city, the kingdom itself, prepares for the Cloud Chorus. There's still all kinds of wagons and caravans coming in, street peddlers all about, yelling their wares at you. Even at you guys, as you step out the Queensguard, you have people trying to sell you flowers and like candies, all different kind of just delectables from everywhere in the world. The only thing that you don't generally see, of course, are reptilians, scaly kind. There's elves, there's dwarves, there's everyone under the sun, though the rest take space in Dare Mole, as I'm sure you know. So, how will you proceed and take on the day?
Maybe we'll just get lucky and like the Nightbringer and Maneater Mabel will kill each other simultaneously.
Count your lucky stars.
You never know.
I didn't want to play this game by myself. That feels like it's me fighting me.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we go tell Neadis then.
Did we send the letter that we were gonna send recommending?
I think
And-
Lyra is gonna do that.
Okay, but
Was
we
she?
wrote it and like yeah.
She can
Okay,
make that happen. However you guys want to do that,
Yeah.
that will and can happen.
we can just say that. Can we just say that we did it?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. Well then, yeah. I guess we should find the Nightbringer. You know, I just had a thought the other day. I remember it was one of the first times that I had met you, Kane. We were in. What was the first place we were in? Burnwell.
Lauren?
Oren.
Well, yeah, I guess it was Burnwell.
Both.
Both.
And you saw a Vice Guard knight and you said, fuck the Nightbringer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Grant.
Indeed, it was Grant.
It was?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Grant, and it was in the tavern.
Yeah.
Sam's place.
Wow.
Sam's
Yeah.
place.
Throwback. Yeah, I just made that connection. This is who you're talking about.
That this is who the Nightbringer is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in strange positions, I guess you have to speak with the people you hate.
Well, let's go talk to him then.
How much are we going to tell him? What are we going to say?
Well, I don't know. Aren't you going to show him that vampire head that you got there?
Well, yes, of course, we're going to tell him about the vampires, and maybe he can go deal with all of that. But what about the warning?
Remind me, are you taking Lyra with you?
Don't we have to?
It's probably
I think she has to go, because this is her
Yeah.
case.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable not saying something as much as I
I also
don't
would-
think.
Would feel more safe if she was with us, because like she's got like some official status.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure.
As much as parts of Weisgard deserve their own hate turned towards them, it's not fair to put it on the guests and everyone that's coming here to possibly be burned to death.
You're referencing dragons.
Dragons and arcanists is what she said.
I'm not sure the Arcanists would start with the burning, but it is the easiest way to demolish a kingdom. If you say nothing, I'm sorry, but I am going to be forced to report.
That is also what I figured. Just for my own conscience, I would rather say something.
If you would all like, I am happy to take care of this myself. You took on a dead-end job, it seems. And having to report that as outsiders does not exactly seem necessary. Though, I won't lie, I would appreciate your company. However, I think you have more serious things to tend to, so I will not sway you either way.
I think we should fucking talk to him.
I will
it's-
go if you want to.
Sounds like you've got something you need to get off your chest.
Well, I don't really know what I would say to him, but I don't think that perhaps favor in our way with Neadis could be anything bad. You know, if
Sure.
we go there and he sees it was us, I
It
mean,
might look good.
I suppose Lyra's report will have us in it, but
Yes, well, visualization is important, I suppose. If he sees it, he knows it's true.
right.
I'm not opposed to go.
Well, then,
Sounds like that's where we're leaning.
let us make our way.
Great, cool, and fun.
It'll be fine.
It was fine last time.
or something like that.
Or something like that.
So you all make your way through the Ward of Storms, making it to the first level of the Heaven Stairs that take you to the Ward of Waves, which is the second level of Viceguard. You make your way towards what would be considered like the center of this city, and you can tell the Ward of Waves is much more well put together. Viceguard already seems quite well off, but this is luxurious, as everything here is the epitome of what Viceguard stands for, and that is the light of Elbrin, as sunlight and snow collect and shine like silver across the whole floor of the Ward of Waves. And then you finally get to the true Heaven Stairs, a staircase as tall as a giant. As you look up, you can hardly see the peak of Othia's palace behind of which it sits. And every moment, every step you take, you feel further and further away from what you would call mankind, as you almost ascend to an area that feels celestial in nature.
They really don't want just anyone climbing up these steps. I mean, most normal people would quit halfway through.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
And it's quite true, as you look around and find that you are the only people walking up these stairs at this hour. A sereneness takes place as once you finally crest towards the balcony, you see it. Othia's palace, sitting at the rear end of the Othian kingdom, and bordered by the frame of the Viceguard walls. It is entirely silver in make, pure metal. Pillars framing each side all depict the different Jotnar or Othian gods. As you look towards the center of the main tower is embezzled a large stained glass window with a motif of what looks to be a mountain. And at the peak of this mountain, you see a woman, her hand raised high, and a shining blue fire extending from her hand. That, Kane, you remember that when the sun hits this at sunrise, it coats the land in a almost heavenly blue light. You step towards the large steel doors, each of them covered in fleur-de-lis and what look to be murals of the kind of like the Jotnar in their quelling of the dragons and everything that happened in Elbrin before mankind really made its face on the earth. You begin to knock, and they open slowly and surprisingly silently. Standing in the middle there is a woman, clothed in white and blue garb. On her back, you can see the sort of like edges of a shield extending. And she wears a giant necklace that carries a rune that you would know to stand for. Let me see. Let me get my notes here. Perthro, which would be the god Obardai, who you knew watched over Orin specifically.
She's like the rock.
Yes.
That's the rock.
A simple woman. Her hair is entirely black, with a couple of whites, almost purposely put strands of hair that go up into a sort of an updo, like a high ponytail that you can see reaches down past her waist. She walks towards you, almost gliding across the stone floor. We have been expecting a report. This must be it.
Sure is.
Hold up the vampire head.
She sort of looks away, closes her eyes, and if you would please refrain from parading that inside of the palace. I do believe that is necessary evidence. However, in a place like this, it is very unsightly.
Wrap it up.
Forgive me. I am known as Nuri. Nuri Sodmol.
Nuri?
Yes.
Can you spell that?
Nuuri.
Saltmore?
Sodmol.
Sodmall.
Yes. Saadmahl. If you had to guess, you would think she is from the south, as most Weiss Guardians usually have more ivory white skin. She is sort of like a soft, sandy brown, more like something you'd see in Burnwell. I am one of the Etir, and I follow the god Obadai. Now that this is known, please make yourselves known to Yadis. Though, give him some time. He needs it at the moment.
Busy chopping heads off.
I understand that his reputation is not so bright, but that does not happen here in the palace. This is hallowed ground. No death should come here.
We don't kill people here. We do that outside.
Right. Yeah. After you throw him down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Is Neadis one of the Etir as well?
Honorary in a way, though he makes quite a priority of guarding the kingdom itself. We Etir find ourselves outside of the walls, protecting the land itself. He, for reasons only known to him and Mother Seraphim, stays here.
Great. Okay.
Good to know.
And as she walks you through the palace, you see, this palace is standing at least 150, almost 200 feet high, easily made for a giant. As you see these giant pillars holding up vaulted ceilings, you look up into the ceiling and see skylights, just light beaming in. You can see the snowfall as you kind of walk towards and around the palace itself. The stone on the floor is all like broken up mosaic, all going to different places, and you can see like where they lead. They sort of tell stories of where you're going. And this path that you currently take tells the story of Athia, and how she chose to stay on Elbrin, whereas her partner, husband, and lover, Anam, chose to accentuate himself in the celestial plane. As you continue to walk, you see her fall to the bottom of the sea, and the mosaic itself gets darker and darker and darker until it is almost a pure black. And there you see 7, 8 lights, one much larger than the other, and the rest holding the runes of the 7 Yatnar that express the Othian religion. At the bottom of this mosaic are even more stairs that take you to a large set of oaken double wood doors, and you hear the sounds of what seems to be a whip cracking, very rhythmically, continuously.
He's hitting himself.
That's what I was thinking.
A holy ritual in its own right. He bears the burden of Weisgard on his back. Or so he says. Well, I will leave you all to it. Speaking of which, he spoke of you. There was a night, there was some sort of creature in their moon.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, you are all friends of Scalekind.
Yeah.
Who told you that?
Where'd you get your information from?
She gives you a wry smirk and raises her eyebrow. A An educated guess, maybe. An arcanist as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Were it not for the severity of the situation, you would normally not be allowed in here. And personally, I find that kind of sad.
That you know, normally we wouldn't be allowed in here. You find that sad, or you find it sad that we are in fact in here?
It's sad that you're here. Please leave.
Tell me, you all went to chase this man-eater, correct?
Yes.
We did.
And why?
Because she was murdering people.
Seemed like the right thing to do.
Exactly. Only good people care enough to put themselves in harm's way, regardless of their origins. Wait until it stops, and you may enter. Be safe. And she looks specifically at you, Kane,
Yep.
as she strides away. And it takes a moment.
She seemed cool. Maybe there's another person we can convince.
We'll see.
It takes a moment for the cracking of whips to stop, and you hear a very somber silence beyond the doors. And as they open, you are met with the sound of screeching wood against marble and pure darkness behind the body of Nyadis, the Nightbringer.
Dark in that.
And here at the bottom of these stairs, in front of this gateway, I need you all to make a wisdom save.
Is it magical?
I would say so.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
You get a +1. Both of you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, that's big.
This isn't a charm, is it?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
15.
Okay.
Fuck. 6.
17.
17. Lyra stands at attention, and you see sort of like a bead of sweat trickle down the side of her face, but she seems put together. Uwasa is staring at you all, extremely confused, as you wear the look of malice and disdain and overall fear upon your faces, as you are overcome with an overwhelming sense of doom.
Jesus.
You are all under the frightened condition.
Damn. Even with the 17.
Wow.
Strong.
Wow.
So, I see you've come to report. Please, step into my chambers.
Do we have to?
We can speak out here. If you are afraid of what God is, or if you find yourself strong and faithful individuals, I have invited you in. As he turns.
Do you have any tea? Do you have any tea in there?
Yes, tea. Specialty of Weisgard. I will bring you all some. Certainly.
Okay.
And he steps, and with every step, you feel the weight of his body reverberate throughout the floor. And you step into this darkness where, in this sort of chamber, there are no windows. Everything is lit by soft candles that dance shadows across the walls. All the walls hold what look like many, many, many books. Old books, bound in myriads of different types of leather. In the middle of this room, you see a drain, and surrounding it is a shallow excess of blood. As you step further...
How tall is he?
How tall is Niadis? I believe he's 6'8". Or, no, he might be 7 foot.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right.
Fucking big.
He's a big guy.
Uh-huh.
And you follow him in, and he steps kind of just right over this drain. And you see sort of like an alcove where there is like a table and a set of just like utensils, cups, and things. And behind that is another set of double doors made out of some sort of ebony metal. I am sorry. I have no chairs. So, be it your knees or your feet, this table is where we will sit.
This is your room and you have no chairs?
How can one carry weight when one sits? It weakens the body. We stand and we kneel in divine presence.
She's like, this sounds like familiar. Sure, I can stand.
You can, absolutely. You do not look weak in body, though I do not see much of it under these cowls.
Well, it's all of the holy magic, it's for reverence.
And who do you revere?
I'm not sure yet. But they do talk to me.
Fuck.
I do hope it is one of ours who speaks to you.
It sounded like it the last time I talked to them.
And after a while...
It's not untrue.
No, I don't think I need you to make any checks or anything like that. But he takes one of the candles, and it's brighter. It's blue. And he gets a kettle going over it. After some time, he divides tea amongst a lot of you. Whole time, entirely silent.
I just imagine like this huge guy with like the tiniest little tea set.
I mean, it's gonna look tiny.
Setting it out.
But it's pretty just like basic cutlery. Nothing special, nothing like covered in Athi and guile or anything like that. They're just simple cups. You have come to report. So speak. As he looks at you, Ersid.
Well, maybe Nerissa, maybe you should show. You could show him what we found,
Sure.
perhaps.
Sure. Not to ruin the tea, but unfold the head. There were many vampires in the tunnels of Galilea. 10 or more.
And his hand reaches up
Dozens.
under his helm as he strokes his chin in thought, and he holds his hand out large, almost as big as your head, asking for the decapitated head of the vampire.
Put it in. Hand it over.
And he sort of looks at it as its open maw sort of unhinges and begins to hang as he turns it around, hair falling between his fingers. Dozens, you say?
I killed 3 or 4, and there were at least 12 others.
I mean, really, to be honest, there's no telling just how many there were. There could have been much more than we even saw.
And what took you out to the ruins of Galilea?
Man-eater Mabel.
And what did you find about the man-eater besides horse spawn?
Well,
Man-eater Mabel.
yep, we found her. And she happens to also be a vampire.
Much, much stronger than that one you're holding.
This has already died, as he crushes it in between his hands.
Dirty bitch.
Disgusting. Well, she was significantly harder to kill.
And so why is her head not the one I am crushing in between my fingers now?
Well, I'm not,
Have you come to tell me that you have failed?
Failed is a strong word.
Well, and he looks at Lyra. You decided to take this case upon your own volition. Some sort of vengeance or passion that I care not for. You promised all of your strength, Vice God. And here I see you with these interesting individuals. Powerful enough to deal with undead, beyond that of zombies and ghouls and those who are forgotten to be burned upon the land. If this is not failure, please enlighten me as to what it is.
It's a step in the right direction.
And what
Well,
direction?
failure could have been us not finding Tiddly Widdly, don't you think?
Well, that depends. What direction does this tiddly widdly little head of ours take us?
Well, we did destroy her body. She turned into a mist, which then we could not destroy. Maybe we just don't have the right magic for it. I don't know.
If you'd like, I could come up with a comprehensive list of all of the successes that we had
She did give
that
us a
you
warning.
didn't know beforehand. A, we found an underground lair that had not been known before. B, we discovered the true identity of Maneater Mabel, which had previously not been known. C, we know what she looks like. D, we fought her. We know what she's capable of.
6.
Need I go on?
So, let's start with her appearance. You know what she looks like. You know her true identity. And who is this Maneater Mabel then?
A woman who calls herself Galilea.
She likes to appear as a woman with dark hair, sharp teeth, and black eyes. She is nothing particularly special until she transforms, in which she looks something like a beast, maybe a bit like a werewolf.
Less hairy, I think.
Less hairy.
I assume your word choice is not of any lack of discretion. You say appears. She changes shape. Are you correct?
She was able to transform into a friend of our companion.
So, she transforms between this Galilea, a raven-haired mistress of the night, into some sort of beast capable of eviscerating men, or that of a friend of another.
It seems her form is not so important, as she also turned into mist when she was...
So,
So I would
Give me a
argue the
reason.
fact that this is important information. We previously did not know that she could do that. Having this knowledge is still valuable as opposed to not having this knowledge. Even though we can't go out and be certain, like, oh, we can find her because we know what she looks like. We also know that it could be anyone, so you can keep your guard.
And she wouldn't most likely be able to walk out during the day.
So, what you have informed me of here is that you do not know her identity. However, we are more aware of this creature's capabilities. So, does she Did you speak with this creature?
Yes.
And what did you find?
That something is going to happen to Iceguard.
Those are bold accusations to make in the Palace of Orthia.
Well,
It's her accusation, not ours.
And yet you bring me this missive.
Would you rather us not tell you?
I'd rather you tell me the full extent of this threat.
dragons and arcanists.
She said during the cloud chorus that dragons and arcanists would make an appearance.
So, in 10 days, we will be receiving a special guest.
Or guests.
Yeah.
There were vampires. There was Galilea, who I have heard whispers of from my night's watch. Were there arcanists where you stepped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is who we should be expecting, along with dragons.
The ones in red, specifically, the followers of Galilea.
Galileans, if you will.
Is that what they call themselves now?
There are two different kinds of arcanists.
Continue.
From what I gather, people like me and the rest of the folks that you have here entertaining you for a week, and those who would practice darker magic.
Now, make no mistake, Cain. There are very few arcanists such as yourself lucky enough to walk such holy grounds. Name aside, an arcanist is an arcanist, and they are a threat to the sanctity of this land. Would you ask me to protect these sinners while I send my Night's Watch to investigate others of the same criminal act?
It's only criminal if you use it in that way. Same as everything. Same as any sword. Used to protect or cut down.
Magic is no sword. It is much more powerful. And magic that comes from the hands of man is nothing compared in the hands of the divine. You have seen men. I know men more than any other. And darkness sits within all of us. That is where that magic comes from. And that is what it is used to do. So, with this, my Night's Watch will be quite active for the next ride. In these next 10 days, I will prowl the streets myself to make sure there are no arcanists but the recorded bards that we have here for the Cloud Course. Barring yourself, unless you make yourself a target, Cain.
Well, I'm surprised you don't have one painted on my back already.
Your mother was quite the contender for the Cloud Course. So, in her honor, you will live until you are ready to meet her.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
And, be it dragons or magic, your aid is necessary, for you know the most. I will give up some of my restrictions as a guardian of this kingdom to allow you all to work unperturbed.
Do we get badges?
You may speak with the Queen's Guard. They will provide you any amenities that will leave you free of whatever it is to come. Now, is this all?
I lean over to Kane. I poke him in the side. I think we're getting badges.
There was two presumably Galileans headed towards Weisgard last night.
So, you suspect they have already infiltrated the kingdom?
It's an assumption.
Then we will act under said assumption. The Night's Watch will be formed much quickly, more quickly than usual.
Great.
You are all free to leave, unless you have more information regarding this investigation.
I think that was everything.
I hope you all enjoyed your tea. As he turns around, Marissa, can you make me a stealth check at disadvantage, please?
Cool.
What?
It's
performance.
already a disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh, it's already at disadvantage? What kind of roll would you make to make sure that you have no reptilian skin showing in this?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Well, she's got gloves on.
She's got gloves.
She always has gloves on. Like, the armor has leather underneath all the way. She's wearing the cloak up around, so it's like this, and then it goes around her feet.
Okay. Then not at disadvantage. This will be a pure stealth check. No disadvantage.
13. It's a condition.
She has extremely bad eczema.
Yeah, it's insane.
You guys just start talking. He hasn't said anything.
It's like that grayscale from fucking Game of Thrones.
You notice before he turns that he takes a very heavy look at all five of you. And he lingers on you. And as he turns, you all step away. You hear him, his voice echoing throughout his chambers. Child one, I would like to see what sits under those robes one day.
That sounds like you're hitting on me. But
Is that what you say?
no, she wouldn't know.
I
think that's how a person would take it, and I just
Yeah.
kind of like go like,
And you are free to exit the chambers of the Nightbringer and are no longer under the effects of the fear condition.
She's like,
What a bastard.
that was some pretty good tea, I must say.
everyone is like kind of reasonable, but only so much. Like, it makes it more annoying. If he just was worse, then it...
He's
It'd be
not
easy
reasonable.
to hate.
Yeah, Wasa kind of like stands by Kane and like you see her like get really rigid and like huffy.
Yeah, like in an annoying way. Like, it's so fake, right?
And she kind of like nods her head to the side. And she shakes it and draws her hands in like a circle, like motioning the world around her. And she shrugs. But as she points at Yadis's door, she just crosses her hands and shakes her head no.
Unreasonable. Completely. Utterly. Cunt.
Hides behind the facade of reasonable.
Yeah.
I do wonder why. I would like to say he doesn't seem like himself. You should be dead.
Who, Kane?
Cain indeed.
Yes, someone who holds their oath so closely to the point where they're hurting themselves over it. Leaving you alive, there must be a good reason.
Well,
He must genuinely be concerned and also must genuinely believe in our abilities. Otherwise, if he thought that he could handle this situation, I mean, he would just kill you,
obviously,
right?
I mean, obviously he can't.
Right,
what's
that's what
been
I'm
done?
saying.
I also think that for as much position as he seems to hold, he has plenty of people to answer to.
Everyone
Who does he
answers
answer to?
to the queen.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
the
sure.
queen would be nicer.
But I would assume that the 7 A-tier are above him.
Probably.
Sallow being one of them. Sallow being someone who has given us reign to walk around the city and not be smited by divine justice.
Sallow is above the Nightbringer.
I would assume so.
Probably
He's one of the
because,
7.
Yeah, because he's one of the 7, and the other they called him honorary, so that is probably true. If we want to go by ranking, I don't know.
I mean, if the A-tier, the 7-star knights, if the A-tier and the 7-star knights are truly the premium soldiers of Viceguard, then it only stands to reason that they stand above him. So, your previous acquaintance with Sallow is what's keeping you all alive then?
Oh, good. Good thing he likes us, kind of.
I don't know. I lived here before. He didn't kill me.
I mean, he can't be much older than you, so
I suppose.
you're probably about the same age, maybe.
I don't know.
Yadis and Cain?
No, I thought he was talking about Sallow.
Oh,
No, I was talking about Neatus.
No, Nate is old.
I was like, what?
That's an old guy.
He's not. Yeah, he's not young. He's not Cain's age.
Oh, what's next?
I'm going to go back to our room and clean up because we are still disgusting from all of that.
Good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Afterward, we still have a lot of research to do that we haven't done. I would like to do some of that.
Okay.
We have let me see what it's called. We have 2 places to go. If I can find when that was, that would be cool. There's the Resig Academy and the Gotlic Anatheum.
Yes.
Athenaeum?
Anathium.
Anatheum. Whatever, I probably wrote it down wrong. So we have those 2 places we can go to like learn. I think I'd rather go to the Athenaeum because I can't read really. So that would be more like someone else who's smart could go to the academy and read, and I would go to the church and vibe.
Okay.
Well, my stay in Viceguard is coming to an end. I would prefer to leave in the morning.
You're not going to stay for the Cloud Chorus, even though it may have, some unexpected
Terrorist
guests.
activity.
Some terrorist activity. I'm not going to let some terrorist activity ruin my good time.
Unfortunately, I'm in the same boat as Vincent. My quarry is no longer here. It's the only reason I met you in Burnwell. It's the only reason we're here together now. And after everything that's happened, I'm afraid I would simply get in your way. But research is something that I happen to have a talent with. So, if there's anything I can help you with before the morn comes, please feel free to utilize me.
You could go to the library with maybe Kane? The academy?
Is that where you will be?
What do you want to research again?
We have to learn, because we learned about the history of the dragon side. We have to learn about the history with the giant side.
Oh, that's right.
We haven't done that yet. So.
Well, I'm not very smart.
Neither am I.
We're all pretty... Yeah.
We're all street smart.
Yeah.
Except for Larissa's not really any kind of smart.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
And like, Uwasa kind of like punches you in the leg, jokingly, but also like, why you talking about Narissa like that, man? And Lyra sort of giggles. It's important to know your weaknesses.
There wasn't a lot of opportunities, you know.
I'm
learning every day.
And please continue to do so. So that is what you are both looking for, is the information on how the Arthians believe this Dry Creek went.
Maybe, if we can put them together, somewhat of the truth will reveal itself.
Well, I will find what I can, and I will see you all at the Giant's Rest. If you happen to go to the Academy, that is where I will be, as the Athenium seems more vocal in aspect. I think that is a wise choice of you.
Right.
Well.
Break, go do that.
Okay, so where's everyone going? Oh, man.
You guys can
Well, I would like to talk to the bards that we brought here.
Okay, for sure. And Ersid?
I don't think the Ersid is trying particularly to do anything. Probably just wants to take a shower.
So you're gonna chill while because it sounds like you guys are gonna get ready and then split up. Are you going to go with someone else, or are you just gonna kick it back in the room?
No, I'll go with. Sorry, Narissa is going to go
to the Athenium,
and Kane is going to go look for the bards. No, I want to go look for the bards. I don't want to fucking read a book.
Okay. So we'll send Uwasa with Narissa and you two together. As you guys enter the Giant's Rest, it's very lively. And actually, at that moment, you see the Vice Guard Whalers at play, kind of honing the crowd in and entertaining all of the Giant's Rest. They have their whole setup going on, and with that, you kind of get an idea of where their focuses and specialties lie. You see Runa, the woman who was driving the cart. She actually has some sort of like a almost like a drum kit in the back that she uses to hold rhythm, things like that. Pigeon and Rook are playing the flute and fiddle, respectively. And Arlen, the man in charge, is playing the lute as he serenades the crowd. And they are doing quite well. Everyone is entranced. And you happen to see Sallow there as well, drinking at the bar and just kind of taking in the situation. He has a bunch of girls like all over him. He's not really paying them any attention. He's trying to enjoy the music. And as you walk in, You see Arlen's eyes look at all of you. And this one goes out to these folks here. We wouldn't be here literally, we would not be here without them. They actually fixed our wagon. The wheel came off its axle on our way. And due to their strength and prowess, well, bards can't do everything, can they? Jacks of all trades, masters of none. So, this song goes out to you. And they start playing again.
Fantastic. Great. Only a
Um,
little sick.
whenever I'm kind of in like a crowd, because we're like out in the crowd, right?
Everyone
Yeah,
looks at us
yeah.
because they said these go out to you.
Yes, everyone is looking at you guys.
Great.
A lot of them are clapping. Some of them kind of like stop mid clap once they see like who these people are. Mostly because of Kane, and some of them are kind of curious. The rest just kind of go on with the flow. They're having a good time.
I would like to remain vigilant and like keep a lookout for any suspicious terrorist activity. So if I catch a glimpse of any
Erson starts putting up the
Arcanist.
anti-terrorism posters.
You do see that Pansy is working.
Yeah, I don't know about her.
Vittorio, as usual, is behind the bar doing his thing.
I'll go talk to Sala for a minute.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Erson, make a perception check.
Erson, see if you can find some terrorist activity in the bar.
21.
21.
And I rolled a 10.
Oh man. Oh, I'm so scared of these perception checks now. So that's your passive is 21 then?
Yeah.
Huh. Good stuff. Okay. You do notice that there are just a couple of individuals that Pansy seems to be like going back and forth to. She checks on them a lot more than the rest of her tables. But as far as like terrorist activity,
I specifically, I meant like Galileans or the Red Wizards or people who look like they're up to no good,
Suspicious activity.
Suspicious activity.
I totally
What
go ahead.
What do the patrons that Pansy is tending after? What do the patrons look at like?
They just look like out of towns folk. Just lots of ruddy brown hair instead of the natural blonde of like Weisgard that you normally see. Weisgard's definitely like the Aryan supreme race.
Great. Cool.
They're all pretty just like standard there. They keep to themselves, just like most of the world does. You can kind of tell who's from where just by how they look. But these guys look southern. You see a wood elf, a man, and a woman, all dressed in just pretty standard common
The
clothes.
3 genders.
Yes, wood elf,
Man, woman.
man, woman, and elf. I'm with it. But they're just kind of talking. They seem to linger a little bit more in their conversations than others. You do notice that Pansy has been slipping letters to and from the table.
Interesting.
Okay, I'm going to.
What you gonna do?
Go to Narissa's conversation with Sala while I think about this.
Well, I think about
Okay,
what I'm going to do.
I was gonna split it up, but I'll give you some time. You walk up to Sallow, and he's kind of doing his thing. He's getting drinks, and he's just kind of talking to these girls, whatever. And they're like, "Oh, hey, when is the next time you're going out to battle and stuff?" And he's like, I can't be this pretty if I'm always fighting, And he looks over and he sees you come. Well, Narissa, this is a interesting time to see you. This is You caught me off guard. So, how can I help you?
I need to talk to you. It seems like you're quite busy, so I don't want to ruin your good time, but I need to go upstairs and clean off anyway, and I kind of like rub some of the vampire blood off of the...
I mean, it's probably crusty. It's been 2 days.
Yeah, it's crusty, so...
So it's like brushing off. It's
like the
Flaking
flaky.
off of
Flaking
gold
off.
armor.
And he kind of gives you like he just looks at you inquisitively. Are you asking me to come to your room with you?
No, what? No.
Well, is this a private conversation or?
I would prefer it to be.
Well, then, excuse me, ladies. My friend is here. Apparently, she needs me. This is serious. Anyway, and he gets up, and they all kind of look at you, pretty upset. Definitely cat's eyes coming at you.
Yeah.
As he
fight
kind
off all these girls.
Kane will step up. Perhaps I can help in this situation.
Oh, there you go. He's like,
roll flat charisma.
Roll
Let's make
high.
a straight
That'd be so
charisma. make that Riz check, my guy.
Check.
This is spoken
Riz
Riz, so
check.
you have to check.
Just add my
Just your charisma.
Yep, no proficiency, no nothing. 18.
Oh, that's pretty
yeah,
good.
18.
They sort of like giggle and they look at you. Well, what is your name?
Name's Kane.
Kane.
What you having a drink?
Well, it's a surprise. As she hands you a cup, and Narissa, you and Sallow make your way up.
I don't know if that's like a double wingman move, but it's really funny.
And you're going upstairs, and he just kind of follows you. And so, what is?
Well, it's about the keys that you were looking for.
Okay, I see why we are speaking in private. What about them?
On our way to Galilea, which is where we found Maneater Mabel, and it was a bunch of vampires, and she was a vampire.
I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I think the only thing that interests me is that they're at the ruins. Vampires. Well, is she dead?
She took twice the power of the hit I landed on you, and seemed fairly unperturbed. We managed to turn her into mist, and she flew away.
He looks sort of taken aback. He's struggling to find the words to say until finally. I think this is a problem. Well, one thing at a time. Are we talking about the keys, or do I need to know more about this man-eater?
The keys is mostly why we're talking, because on the way to Galilea, I managed to contact the god I have been communing with over the past few months.
So is this good news? Are you telling me that you're one of us? Which one was it?
He wouldn't tell me. He said something about being the earth and the mountains and the whole world or something. I don't remember the exact words that he used, but he said if you look for him, he is there in all of nature. And if I wanted to find out his name, I had to find the Church of the Plains.
The same thing we're looking for. That worries me, Narissa. You say it couldn't have been any of the Yatna.
I don't know.
I don't imagine that they would hide themselves from you. And there are few, if any, secrets of our religion. I don't think I'm comfortable with the idea that something else knows about such a sacred place.
What else could it be, though?
That is the question.
But isn't it important to know?
Exactly. But what do we know?
I would know less than anyone.
At this point, you may know more than me. At first, I think of Anam, husband of Arthea. Why he would take any interest in these churches, I have no idea. Though I do know he had a penchant for those of the finer sort, so him speaking to a woman that isn't his wife is not exactly rare. There's also Arthea's worldly lover, a man of the sea that goes by many names. Tell me, in these visions, what exactly do you see besides a man and a message?
I have seen many things. It started with a winged snake. A quattle, I think is what they're called.
Does he know what that is? Okay.
Who told me they were a messenger for someone else. When we came here, I had a vision of a giant man. Very giant. I couldn't see their face. I've had visions of being a mountain? Or being the earth itself.
The mountain, the earth. And where exactly were you? Just, were you coastal? I guess I am asking.
The visions changed when I came into Weisgard. That's when I saw the giant. Before then, in Burnwell, it was always the snake.
You know, throughout history, snakes and giants don't exactly convene.
I have been told.
I want to trust you, Narissa. But you are not one of us. And I don't mean you're not human. I mean, you do not share our faith. And there's only so much that you can learn without that. I worry that there may be weights that you are not fit to carry. I fear there's truth that I am not ready to learn.
I can't make you. But sometimes you have to get uncomfortable. Now is a time where things are changing very drastically. And maybe learning those things will help avoid problems in the future.
And if this information isn't a problem itself, I don't know what it is that speaks to you. But it could upend beliefs that are held very closely to our people. That type of change is not smooth. It's abrupt. It's violent. And as a member of the A tier, it is my job to stave off violence, especially from my people. I can tell you one thing. You may have to visit the Twilight Vale.
Goddamn.
I hope for your sake, the sake of Weisgard, and even Elbrun as a whole, that you do not. But if that is where your deity takes you, do your best to find out what it is you're dealing with before you go.
It's always some big thing.
Well, I wouldn't call speaking to a god a little thing.
Sure. But why send me on a scavenger hunt, you know?
Well, what else would they have us do? They can only do so much, as they are barred from this world and this plane. It's an honor, really, to have one seek your aid. I simply pray that my hunch is wrong, and that they are truly using your talents for good.
I think if they weren't, they wouldn't have asked me to uphold the principles I've decided to take on.
I will say this. If there is anything a man can do, a god can do much better. And unfortunately, that includes lying.
Well, they better not be lying to me.
I admire your confidence.
I have to have it. It's the only thing that's gotten me here, so. You're going to also hate this news, but
I thought this was the bad news. What?
there's worse news. I thought this was neutral news.
Well, let's have it.
Before Galilea left, in her cloudy form, she told us that I don't know if it's her, but the Cloud Chorus is going to be affronted? I don't even know if assaulted is the right word. By dragons and arcanists.
And he sort of buries his hand in his face. That is much worse news.
Yeah.
So, it seems that I will have to deliver this news to the rest of the Etir.
We did tell Neatus, but
He may be already speaking with Mother Seraphim. It seems a conference will be held. I do hope that you brought a change of clothes.
mm-hmm. She just kind of gives him like a what?
If you are to stand in front of the Mother to be questioned and confirm information, you should be well dressed.
Oh.
It's gold-plated armor, that's enough.
I guess I will go find something then.
I'll take care of it if you don't have any. You are all my guests. And as it is my duty to protect the people, it's also my duty to make sure that you leave alive.
Well, I don't want anyone here to get hurt, so whatever we can do to help, stop them from harming innocent people.
Things just get more twisted and twisted by the day.
Yes, that has been my experience since I landed here, so...
Well, I will do my best to allow someone of scale kind to speak. I have your back, Narissa. I know what you have done. And I know it may not seem like it because of, well, the values that I hold. I understand that you and your friends are special. You've seen things that very few ever get to see. And you especially are different.
It's not an easy thing. But I'm glad for it.
Good. That's what I like to hear. And he smiles. Stay here until the cloud chorus is over. This will be on my tab. I will have all clothes sent. If you could actually have someone, I will have someone to collect the measurements of you and your friends and whatever else it is that you may like, and we will make sure that you are dressed to the nines to make an appearance.
That's very nice. I never get to dress up. It's always just fighting, and then things get torn, and then whatever.
Well, then you will experience the best that Weisgard has to offer as far as culture goes.
Great. Thank
Friendship
you.
unlocked.
I know, it's our other support scene unlocking.
Then, I assume I should go.
Yes, I'm still covered in vampire blood. It is disgusting.
And he kind of like waits a second and he's like, understood. And he leaves.
Bitch ass.
Back to the main floor of the tavern. Erisa, did you ever find out?
I figured out what I'm doing.
Okay, what's up, man?
Screaming.
Well, so you said I noticed is it Pansy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pansy is exchanging notes with a table that she seems to be spending a lot of time tending.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd like to. So I noticed the note. Do I see? Is the note being passed from Pansy to the table?
Like to the table, you notice that she is constantly picking up and kind of giving these notes under like dishes, cups, things like that, refills and things of the like. So you see that they exist.
Okay, and is she like picking? So she is picking notes up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I would like to, when she goes to pick up a note from the table, I would like to track the note. Where is she keeping it? Is it under a plate? Does she put it in her pocket? And if she walks away with it, then I would follow her.
I mean, she's definitely walking away with it. She's going behind the bar to collect like what is that, meals and drinks and such. Sometimes when she goes behind, like actually in the back into the kitchen, you don't see her for a little longer than normal. But as far as following her, how do you propose to do so?
I guess what I want to know is, when she picks up the note, does it remain under it? How is she picking it up? Is it under a plate? Is it?
Yeah, she's like grabbing it like with the rest of the dishes as she takes them to the kitchen.
Like for us, like what she did to us.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. When she places the note on the table, it's placed under a plate. Is that correct?
It's placed under some sort of dish, be it a plate, a mug, whatever it might be.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm kind of just watching and observing because I think you can tell I'm gonna try and steal this note.
You can try. Tell me your game plan.
Bump into
he's
her.
trying
to
Oh,
figure
I'm
out.
so sorry.
That's what I'm trying to figure out by observing them. So I want to know exactly where the note is. So if I can see that she has placed a note, I don't think that I'm going to be able to take it out of her hand that is carrying a plate as she walks behind the bar. That seems absurd. So I think I'm going to have to, because it doesn't seem that, I don't see her putting it in a pocket. If she even just put it in a pocket, I would go pickpocket her. So
No pockets to
I
pick.
see it.
She wearing a dress.
Okay, she's wearing a dress.
With
even
no
worse.
pockets?
Oh, how rare.
In the Middle Ages, dresses used to have pockets.
So-
Well,
When she takes a note over to the table, does the table lift I'm just saying it's a plate, any kind of dish. They lift the plate, they read the note, then what do? They put it back and then put the plate back on top of it?
yeah, they would slip it back under the plate or whatever after they have written their choice of words.
Okay. Then, if that's the case, then I am. Are there any empty glasses around me in my immediate area?
I don't think it'd be hard to find one. It's a bar. It's a tavern.
Okay.
Plenty
Then
of
I grab
glasses.
an empty glass,
Okay.
and while Pansy is away, but the note is under the plate after they have already written their choice of words on it, I am going to walk over drunkenly and pretend to trip into one of the people that's sitting at the table.
Okay.
And you can decide. This is what I want to do. I'm going to walk over there,
Yeah.
stumble,
Yeah.
trip into one of them, hit the table, and then sleight of hand the plate that I know that the note is under and take the whole thing.
First thing I want is a performance check to see if you
Okay.
are convincingly drunk.
Convincingly drunk.
Okay. I thought that I might have to do this bit. I was really trying to do this because my performance is not the best.
There's not
That's
much.
pretty.
What is it?
That's pretty good. It's 15.
It's 15? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks good. And you kind of like stumble through the bar. A lot of people are just kind of like pushing you out of the way. So you're already getting like knocked and gaining this sort of momentum because you're walking through the crowd. Everyone's kind of mad. Like when you're just busting through the crowd to get to the front of the stage, that's kind of what you're doing right now. So they're pushing you around and finally you get there. And you kind of pull off this pratfall as you fall into the table and on top of the man who's sitting on kind of at the bench. And they look at you. Hey man, what is this here? Go ahead and make your sleight of hand check.
Terribly sorry. That's 30.
Fucking Christ.
I rolled a 19. I get plus 11. How crazy is that?
Erson could just be a magician.
It's true.
He starts pulling coins out of his ear.
Oh man. Okay. So you get this, and he just kind of looks at you, and he's looking real upset, and he's fine, and he goes back to eating his food as you step away. And at this point, the Vice Guard Whalers sort of stop playing. They get themselves a table, and a couple of people like are walking up to them and talking to them. Is there anything else you want to do, Ersid?
So where do I see Kane in this main floor of the tavern?
I assume so. Kane, you're not doing anything special.
I'm just talking to these girls if
Did
they're
you get
still
a
all
date
here.
to the
We
cloud
can-
course?
After this, actually, so are you gonna go to Kane?
I was probably just gonna, I don't want to just read this note in the open, so I'll just reconvene with the homies and then go from there.
Okay. Then while you are attempting to reconvene, Kane, do you want to know how it's going with these women?
I do, yeah.
What is your end goal?
I didn't really have one.
I don't have one.
Okay, so you're just trying to have a good time.
I mean, yeah, we'll just see where it goes. If they want to hang out later, then cool. If they don't, then also cool.
Okay.
So cool.
Okay, dating sim time. I guess we can give you some options.
Dating sim time, they pull up.
Yeah.
Give them some choices.
One is a Goliath woman who is surprisingly lithe. She's very tall. Her skin is like a light charcoal, and her eyes are a burning white. Her hair is almost the exact same color as her skin, and it's very long, like past her waist, almost to her knees, so long. And at the moment, she has it kind of like in a ponytail and coiled around her throat as it slings back, kind of like a scarf. She's wearing almost like Narissa. She's very open in her garb, and you can tell she prefers some sort of mobility.
No pants.
No pants, straight,
pants.
just a skirt.
Yep.
One is a obviously vice guardian woman. Her hair is almost like a bob, like an A-cut, almost platinum blonde. Her eyes as blue as the ocean, and she wears a very refined white kind of dress. She looks a little odd, actually, with a drink in her hand, and she almost looks divine in this light. The last is a high elf, obviously, like yourself, very far from home, a silver elf to be sure. She has like kind of like twin tails hair, kind of like Hatsune Miku. Her dress is very avant-garde, very wide waist, empress bodice, open shoulders, and she has lots of jewelry on, all silver, like the rest of her. And she has pink eyes that when they look at you, they sort of swirl, kind of like hypnotic.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So,
do you?
Did you guys ever play those like
three baddies.
those hentai dating sim games?
I mean,
That's what this reminds me of.
oh no.
Oh, no.
You have all
Found out my
these choices.
The Goliath is Jelenka.
Okay.
What up, Jelenka?
The Vice Guardian woman is Francina. And the Silver Elf simply goes by Hammer.
Emma.
Damn.
Not laughing at her name.
So do you have a choice? Or are you trying to shoot your shot with all three?
I'm trying to shoot my shot with all three.
Oh man, okay, I need 3 riz checks.
3 wrist checks.
This is just with the mod.
Yep. Do you need to know their interests? I can do that too. They are more than just objects.
I'm positive that they are.
I'm positive. He's just going baseline, and whoever is most interested, I guess, is.
Whoever bites.
Or they all bit. They all decided to stay. He was an apt replacement for Sallow, apparently. And we're just gonna go in order from Jelenka to Hildegard to Hammer.
Wasn't it Francine?
Oh, it was Francine. I was between 2 names.
12, 13, and 12.
Wow, those are some midline wrist checks, my dude.
They were.
They go on
Can I
second
come up and
thought.
help him?
You want a wingman? Propose. Let me. Okay, we need to start. We need to start role playing this if this is going to continue. So you see, Kane is with these women, and they're all just kind of talking to him and drinking. And he's kind of like flirting with them. And you can tell that after the Vice Guard Whalers, their interest has sort of shifted from Kane to the bards that are now sitting amongst the people. They're getting ready to leave, but they sounds like Kane is still trying his best. So how do you wing?
Well, I can assess the situation, and so to help a homie out, I like walk up and I put my hand on Kane's shoulder, and I was like, "Man, I mean, aren't you just tired from just slaying all of those vampires in a deep dark cave yesterday? I mean, that was hard work, don't you think?"
I mean, it was. I was just about to regale them with all the stories of adventures that we've had.
And Francine is like, "Oh, Dad, I'm killing. You are that type of warrior." And Jelenka's like, "Well, I would certainly like to hear more."
Yeah.
Hema just kind of looks and waits for you to speak.
There I was, cornered in this deep, dark dungeon.
They all look at
With
her.
the Empress herself of vampires. And I was cornered, and she was about to strike me down. And then this bloke, this guy, I shake him on the shoulder. He comes out of nowhere, I tell ya, and he just eviscerates this Empress of vampires. Saved my life many times, this guy. And then I kind of just like back away.
Oh, shit.
I think you deserve the advantage.
That's so funny.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
So roll once more for each of them. How do you want me to do it?
Not for Francine.
She's not interested in your killing. Nothing will ever be funnier in this game than us wingmanning for each other.
It's great.
Insane.
Fucking still the same. 13.
Oh, damn.
Come on, with one of them.
And 21.
Okay, there you go. Oh, that
21,
was much
21,
more
21.
interesting.
Okay. And Jelenka kind of scoffs. Vampires, easy.
Okay.
Fires-
Tell me when you fight a real demon.
All right.
What have you seen?
Oh,
Nothing.
Well,
You find me deep in the clutches of icy mountains, fighting ice devils with my bare hands.
Damn, that is impressive.
that is impressive.
And Francie's like, "I would like another drink." As she walks over to the tavern, and Hema kind of looks at you and she smiles. "Really? So, you seem to have a taste for the shadows then? Dismantling undead, living in darkness."
I do. Walk only by the light of the moon.
"Is that so?
It is.
Well, the moon waxes ever brightly. Near the end of the month it will be full. Maybe that means something. Things like relationships tend to grow during this time. And I happen to have a penchant for darkness myself. Are you doing anything later?"
I'm doing whatever you're doing.
Finally, Kane gets bitches.
There's no, he's done it before. He just fumbled. He
Yeah,
fumbled
well,
the bag hard.
I forgot her name.
Yeah,
You
twice.
don't forget Emma's name.
Well, no, one, that's easy, but two, I wrote it down.
Kane over there writing her name down
It's
on
like,
the palm
okay,
of his
can't mess
hand.
this up this time. Well, I will meet you here at the peak moonlight.
I'll meet you there. Here.
And she smiles. they all sort of disperse, and you have an opportunity to speak with the whalers. And I think this would, Narissa, you're probably showering and getting clean.
Yeah, she cleans off, does her hair. She just doesn't want to be gross anymore.
Okay.
She probably takes like a sponge bath, not like a full bath.
Okay, that makes sense. I feel like
Yeah.
that would take. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then you might show up in the midst of this, whatever happens here.
Okay.
Ersa, are you joining Kane? I assume.
Back to the room.
No, to the Vice Guard whalers at their table.
Oh, that's where Kane went to go.
Yes. Unless I'm
Yeah.
wrong. That's what
I
you're
like.
trying to-
No. I go, but I'm like, I'm gonna be right back. I need to go for a quick wee.
Okay.
The last time you did this at a tavern, you got snatched
Yeah, you got.
out. You got
fucked up, bro.
No, but I'm just gonna go to the. No, I'm telling you. I'm not saying this out loud. I'm going to the bathroom so I can read the note.
For sure. No, I understand. I'm just saying. Luckily, this establishment is so luxurious. There is a commode inside,
Oh, bath.
attached.
Wow.
So fancy.
I don't know what that is.
Commode, a bathroom.
A commode?
Yeah.
I've never heard that word before.
You haven't?
No, you watch westerns, dude.
Yeah, it's a Western word.
That's a western bathroom, my guy.
Oh, yes.
All
I'm
right.
looking at pictures. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Looking at pictures of toilets.
Great.
Okay. You quickly head to the bathroom, and in this missive, there's a back and forth detailing a plan for the
Oh
Galileans.
boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I knew it. I struck gold.
They do plan on coming slowly throughout the cover of night over the next 10 days. Their plan is to set up meeting points in very important places in Vice Guard. Notably, let me get you a list.
Oh God.
Oh.
In the Ward of Storms, they are going to meet Dare Mole. And the
Those are two different places?
No, the Ward of Storms is the bottom level of Vice Guard.
Oh, okay.
And Dare Mole exists. It's the slave city for the Scale King.
Yeah, that was the poor
Right, okay.
slums. Tent
So
city.
that's one of their meeting places, or that's the meeting place?
That's one of them, along with the
Okay.
Silver Sword Inn.
Okay.
In the Ward of Waves, they plan on occupying the Starlight Arcade. And
Okay.
quite obviously, they plan to have men in the Zeitlos Amphitheater.
The Zeitlos.
Zeitlos, if you want that.
Zeitlos. Okay.
Yes. And
Okay.
they will be meeting with someone known as Emil Neverheart.
Okay. Okay. How? It. I guess my question is. This is pretty damning evidence that they're planning on meeting through the cover of night over the 10 days. It's enough for me to extrapolate that these are the Galileans, but is there anything on the note that explicitly tells me that they are Galileans?
No.
Okay. But with everything that I know, I would know that these are Galileans.
Can make an assumption. We told the others to go, not come here. So
I think it'd
Yeah.
be hard to. I think you'll have to go off of your own assumptions here. I don't think you can insight check a missive.
Fair enough.
But you do know where Pansy sent you, so keep that in mind.
Right. No, yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm going to keep this somewhere safe on my body, on my person.
Okay. Awesome. Kane. You finally get to the Vice Guard Whalers. They are kind of entertaining some folks, and Arlen sees you, and he sort of pulls his hair back. Vito, please, a drink for this one. He's a fellow bard.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Solo Artist, what do you think?
Yeah, really well done.
Do you mean that?
I do.
Or is this just some sort of bardic etiquette? Please, keep it real, bard to bard.
Yeah, no, I'm telling
to
you,
man.
it was great.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, fucker.
Please, Sid. Tell me about yourself. I mean, you came here to speak, I assume, with myself and my friends here.
Yep. So, you're all really planning on entering into the Cloud Chorus here?
I'm sorry, friend. What kind of question? Why else would we be here during this time of year?
Well, I just so happen to have some information.
Okay, so
I
this
get
is part of this.
Have a drink and then I join. I just want. So I'm there. That's it.
That's fine. No, I think that's good. Arlen points you out, and Pigeon and Rookus say, "Hey, it's the Red Man. Red Man, how are you? What are you drinking? We want to drink the same thing."
Oh, just whatever the local brew of ale is. I like trying new local places.
That's actually smart. I mean, we do the same. So, you have good taste. Can we get your name so we don't have to call you Red Man?
Oh yeah, terribly sorry. It's you can call me Air.
Air?
Short for Air Sid.
Oh, I like the sound of Air Sid. Very kind of sing-songy. Yeah, it's pretty not as singy as a pigeon, though. We sing a lot better than whatever an Air Sid is.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
And Arlen just laughs. It's all family and friends here. So, again, this is about what you're in. Are you trying to hustle the Cloud Chorus for us? Because frankly, I really don't think we need it.
No. Nothing like that. Olin, are these people your family?
They may as well be. We've been traveling for, 5-6 years now?
And you wouldn't want to see any of them get hurt, right?
And they all kind of stop. And Arlen puts his drink down and leans back, crosses his arms. Now, Mr. Salenray, was it?
That's right.
Exactly what do you mean by this? Because you and I both know that we are not just faces. So you should be careful with the next words that you speak.
Look, I'm not threatening you, if that's what you're thinking.
So then what is this?
I'll lean in real close. Close as I can get across the table.
He leans.
I lean in too.
Pigeon and Rook both lean. And Runa just kind of like stands there staring you down unblinkingly.
What do you know about Galileans?
Nothing. What's Galilean?
What about red wizards?
We've heard of the Red Wizards, necromancers. Some of them come out here from Fae.
Are you a real arcanist?
Am I a real arcanist? I'm a real bard.
There's going to be an attack here. And as annoying as I find you, I wouldn't want to see innocent, seemingly kind-hearted people get hurt doing something that they love.
He leans back and lets out a very large sigh, and you can see Pigeon and Rook are a little flustered. And Runa kind of sits down, pulls out a table. Look, living as a bard is dangerous. This is the closest chance that we will ever have to safety in this world. If we join the Arthean choir, what could breach these walls? That could hurt us. We'll be safe, and our families will be funded for years, generations to come. I'm not sure whatever danger that you speak of is enough to stop us from living our dreams.
And I just look over at Kane and I say, well, we tried.
Well, then, good luck to you.
Arlen speaks up. Okay. As annoying as I find you, I can tell that you have pure intentions here. And you wouldn't be telling us this if you didn't mean it. So, look, all I can say is we cannot stop. But if there's anything we can do to protect ourselves or anyone else who would be there, because as much as I would like to win, I would not like to do so upon the deaths of my competitors.
Well, if this threat is potentially real, and it does happen, I would just hope that you use your bardic skills in any way you can to aid us.
And there's a sort of silence that hangs above you all. And Narissa, you step down as you see them all sort of like cloistered over this table. And you can sort of hear Kane talking about this aid, and there's all sort of very pensive expressions on everyone's faces, besides Airsid, of course.
Besides Erison, for sure.
What's my expression?
I feel like you're pretty nonchalant. You're like, these guys are dumb.
I'm a little nonchalant at the moment. I mean, I do care about saving individuals, but I do also understand, like, you know.
Yeah, you gave me the well, we're tried, so like I can't imagine you're extremely invested. Unless you are. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong. I'm just going off of what you've said.
No, you've read my I just wanted you to say it because I thought it was a funny scene.
I'll just wait for them to get done, I think.
And Arlen kind of, yeah. Well, that's what we do, right? Jack of all trades, master of none. Prepared for any situation.
That is right.
You're missing a couple of friends.
They're around.
One of them gave us gold for fixing our wagon.
Yeah. She got hit in the head.
Excuse me.
She's a little backwards sometimes, you know.
Roll deception.
Mind at heart.
What's happening?
What's happening?
D&D Beyond is crashing.
You're rolling poo poo.
Also that. What did I say it was earlier? It's 15. 15.
Kane, you just put the lives of my family here on the line in some way, shape, or form. You care about us at least a smidgen. Maybe just because we're people, maybe more so because we're kin as musicians. Doesn't matter. So I would appreciate it if we are to put our lives on the line for you and others, and we keep honest space between us.
Well, that's her business.
It's a better answer.
It's the only one I'm willing to give you.
So, how willing are you to help me speak with them?
Well, I will talk to her first, but I'm not going to ambush her with you.
Hey, don't yawn. We're live. No. Sorry, chat. Sorry for everyone who was viewing. Sorry. We'll fix this in our YouTube recordings of this. Something that you guys can watch.
Yeah, can hear you now.
I know I'm unmuted. I can see. This is the tech issues on this episode are a few fold, and so we do apologize. But we're just gonna get back into it as we take what we have left of the night to finish up. Which brings me to, where were we? We're speaking with Arlen and the rest of the Vice Guard Whalers.
Yeah.
Narissa is watching from the stairs. Everyone's kind of hum and glum besides Airsid.
Right. He said, "Be honest with me," and I said
that you can't promise what she'll do.
It's not my business. And then he said, "Well, will you help me talk to her?" And I said, "I'll talk to her first, but I'm not gonna ambush her by just bringing you to her."
And before we get started, I'm frozen, so sounds good.
Yeah.
At least you can see the real people here. I'm supposed to just be a disembodied voice anyway. And after you say that you're not going to ambush her with you, Arlen leans back silently for a moment. He just kind of stares at nothing. I can respect that. Do let me know.
Sure. You, are you all staying at the Giant's Rest, or you're just playing here for the night?
No better place to stay. Gonna have good digs if you're going to have a good gig.
Fair enough. When I see you next, I will have an answer for you.
Probably sooner than later. Well, on that note, I think, I don't know if my friends here, as he looks to the rest of the whalers, are going to join me, but I think I'm going to get myself another ale. You're free to stay, if you would like.
Well, I think that we have some other business to attend to.
I'm quite sure you have your hands full, considering what you've already told me. Enjoy your night, Kane. Yeah.
Cheers.
Little one, as he looks at Uwasa.
Oh.
And she kind of like just smiles awkwardly and waves and runs off quickly. She's been kind of looking back and forth between the whalers and you, Narissa, as she like runs up the stairs. and you can see Kane and Ersid walking up. And as you all get up, there's the man that you bumped into, kind of waves at you too. Oi. You're a bard. You're his friend. You have a second.
What?
A second.
He wants to talk to us.
Yes, I do.
Well, sure.
If you could make it brief, we're retiring for the night.
I do need to freshen up. I have, some business later on.
And
All of us are just
so do we. Maybe we're headed to the same place. Would you like to walk and talk?
Well,
Absolutely. Let's come out here. As he steps outside and holds the door open for you two.
I don't step outside.
Really? Is that how it's going to be?
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
No. And frankly, I don't know you, but there's not too many folks who have fell on me today. And I think I lost something. Would you happen to know where it is?
Oh. No. I'm sorry. Sorry about falling on you back there, and I didn't recognize you.
I don't even know if I need you to make a check for this.
my friend here does tend to dabble a little deep in his glass every so often.
And my friends run deep. As deep as Weisgard gets. And it is important that my friends have this information. Otherwise, glass is not something that I think will protect many of us.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with that then. And I just go
Kane's
upstairs.
really
I
lost.
guess.
Yeah,
Kane
you
doesn't know what's going
genuinely
on.
don't know. You're like, no, I'm serious. I don't know what you're talking about.
And Pansy she shows up from the kitchen. Really, it's kind of important. Look, I don't know what you plan to do with it, but at least let us have a copy. You can keep that, but it is necessary.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm sorry. I'm just totally at a loss right now.
I've been standing in the corner. I'm like, when the fuck are they going to get done with this?
You guys have a good night and good luck with whatever you're trying to accomplish. But I guess I'll see you around, unfortunately. And I start walking upstairs.
And they both look a little dejected. The man rageful and Pansy a little disappointed as you step upstairs. The man leaves and Pansy gets back to her duties.
Anyways, that was fucking weird. Guess I'll just walk upstairs.
Yes, what are we doing? What is going on?
I don't fucking know. Haven't the slightest.
So do we?
Then yes,
I'm headed
let's-
to the room.
Sure, we can go back up to the room.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Where
I'm
you guys are
going.
going?
Yeah, go back up.
Okay, you find your quarters. Same as always.
Okay. So we go in the quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that all the windows the blinds are closed.
Curtains drawn.
And the door is closed. Is there any other way that you can look inside this room?
Outside of magic, no.
Okay. Guess I'll just have to take that risk.
So, what the fuck was that about?
So I'll go like this. I can't risk anything right now as I point to my head.
I'll pull out the wire and cast message. Yes.
I nicked a little note that Pansy was passing to that bloke over there, confirming the locations and the general time frames of the Galilean infiltration of Weisgard.
Holy fuck. Just cast message to Narissa and Awasa then. Relay.
So that's what they were upset about.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I put my hand to my mouth.
It's all through message.
Yeah, we're all.
Oh, it's all through message.
Casting
Okay.
message to everybody.
Just being backed up. Wassel's waiting until you guys are done before she says anything.
God, I don't even want to take it out. There's just no possible way, if it's all through message, that anyone could have any evidence. But even the thought of taking it out, I'm scared that somehow through magical means they will be peeping Tom into this room and can see that I pulled the note out. So I don't even want to pull it out. I explained to them that I have it on my body, and I explain all of that.
If we must, I can cast Liamon's tiny hut.
That might be easier if you just want to do that. And then we can just talk and
You guys can
fucking
have a
in
conversation.
the hut inside the room.
I'll cast Liamon's tiny hut.
Okay. What color is it? I know it comes. I know you can make it whatever color.
No, it's black now.
It's black now? Okay. It's black. You guys can see out, but as you walk in, you just kind of see this half black domicile just inserted into your room. You squeeze yourselves inside, and it's almost like you haven't gone anywhere.
Okay, we can speak freely in here.
Yes. Let me read it one more time.
You just cast it just cause. I mean, if you're that worried about magic, they could maybe read our minds anyway, so this might be the safest it gets.
Yeah, I mean, it is the safest it gets. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say anything about scrying or anything if they have such an ability.
They can still get in. Okay. I don't know.
I
might
suppose
feel
risks.
safer here.
It's probably
But
at least
it
quiet.
is-
It keeps the
Yeah.
sound out. So.
It definitely would help with any outside sound.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't think it was better to let them take it? Because now what if they change the plan?
I mean, what difference does it make if I let them take it? Then, if they're gonna change the plan, they're gonna change the plan. I mean,
Because they might think you're still on their side. I mean, we've given them no reason to think we're not.
the Galileans.
Yes. They
We
don't
had-
they don't know.
Oh, they don't know, huh? Because but we fought Galilea.
Yes, but I don't think that I don't think that she would have told them necessarily to, like, watch out for us. I think if you had given it back, it probably...
I disagree, as Air said. I think it's entirely likely that they know. I think it's entirely likely that Galilea would have at least disseminated that kind of information amongst her followers.
Maybe, but she also told us what her plan was.
Yeah, because she was going to she wanted us to join her, and then we flatly refused. So
She told us after we defeated her. I'm not sure what the purpose is.
Perhaps it's really all a diversion.
Maybe.
And they're going to get all their security and all their guards. And anyways, perhaps it's all a big distraction, and they're going to get all their guards and all their strongest...
You know, this is weird.
Fucking military all in one spot, and then they're gonna go somewhere else. What the fuck?
That's entirely possible. I just.
It's also possible that maybe it's not even like, maybe it's not an attack. Maybe there isn't going to be any like fighting. Maybe they just want to show off the power that they have. Like a fear tactic?
Maybe. That.
Because nothing says to me more of a demonstration than showing up to someone else's, like, festival they only have so often and, like, ruining it for people. Like, what's the point in attacking when there's so many people here, other than to make a statement?
Right. And what
other that's a pretty compelling reason to do it, no?
Yeah, it is. Bringing a dragon to the front fucking doors of the land of giants is a pretty big fucking statement.
Even if all it does is fly over and hit a couple of buildings and kills half a dozen people or more, it's still enough.
Enough of what? A statement?
Yes.
Yeah.
A statement that's going to start a whole war. But what's the...
I think that's what she wants.
I think that is what she wants. All I know is this. In regards to not giving up the note back to them, as weak as it may be, and it may be weak, I have plausible deniability. They have no evidence other than their suspicion that I nicked the note from them.
Well, who gives a fuck if they know you nicked the note?
I mean, they already do. They know. That's why they asked. I mean, it is what they
think
now.
they know.
It's just... I don't know. I don't know what we're necessarily going to do about all of this. We are going to have to meet with the Queen, though. That is what Salo said when I talked to him.
I think that if anything, this could be good information to share with the Queen. Whether we believe it or not, like whether it's a trap or a diversion, it still would be good for them to know, and also advise, just so you know, this could be a trap. So consider that, But I think you're entirely right. I mean, what are the four of us gonna do about it? I mean, I don't think that any of it... We're not thinking that we're gonna stop them single-handedly or whatever their dastardly plans are.
Obviously, we all... I don't know how strong the dragons are. Maybe we could take on one dragon with help. But I don't think they expect us to take care of the problem. I think they're asking us to stand with them during this time, though. And if we do, that does mean something.
Who? Wiseguard is asking us to stand with them?
Are they not?
No, yes. I was just confirming. Yes. Yeah.
If we stand with them, information is going to get back to the people who we have already semi-aligned ourselves with.
Who have we aligned ourselves with?
The people who want us to look for the orb seem to think that we're pretty aligned with them.
But are we really going to do that?
Well, if we stand with Weisgard, yeah. Because if that dragon comes here, and it isn't just a show of power, and it's not just here to knock over the fucking castle, are you going to stand and fight the dragon, or are you going to run away?
Yeah, we're in a bit of a rock and a hard place. we've tried to. There's an expression for this, I'm sure. We've tried to play both parties, both sides.
Yeah, we've jumped the fence so much, and now we're finding ourselves impaled on it.
Yeah. Well, when you're caught between such places, do you bend or do you break? Or do you stand strong enough to break it against you? There's really only so many things that we can do at this point. Do we stand with these people because they are the strongest? They will offer us the best chance of survival. Or do we try for something else?
These people being the strongest, being the Wise Guardians?
I think just objectively that is true.
I don't know.
I don't know. The other side has dragons. That's pretty strong.
Sure, but they lost.
The dragons
Hold on.
lost?
Are there not 3 sides, actually? There's 3 sides. There's
Is there?
the Galileans, the Wise
The
Guardians.
Galileans, the Wise Guardians, the Messengers. The Messengers are not bad people. And I don't believe that they do not want a war. All they want is for those dragons to bring life back to this place, and they asked us if we could see a world where dragons and people live side by side. And I've thought a lot about it, kind of going back and forth, and I've decided I do see it, but not with these dragons, not with the ones I've seen. These are not the right ones.
What was the name of the ghouly, scary place that we were at?
The
The
more,
more
of dead men.
The Moor of Dead Men. They are aligned. They are the messengers, correct?
Some of them.
The speaker was there.
Aligned at
Yeah.
the More of Dead Men, you saw Red Wizards of Thay, the Messengers, and Senkali and his entourage.
I just thought that I got the impression that they wanted to bring about the Age of Dragons, whether peacefully or by any means necessary.
I don't think they do not want people to get hurt, but I think they will allow it if it means for a more prosperous world.
I also believe that they are blissfully unaware of
Yes, I also
what
agree.
will happen when all the dragons are back.
I think they are believing in something that is
And-
probably not true.
And to your estimation, if they are blissfully unaware of what will happen, what will happen?
Well,
All out war?
absolutely. The
Yeah.
Wise Guardians are not gonna stand around while there's dragons. They're not.
Right. So the very existence of bringing dragons back will trigger a war, which at this moment seems inevitable.
I believe so.
What else can we really do? It's not like we cannot stop it if the other side wants to start it.
No.
I can't comfortably align myself with the messengers because I do not believe those orbs are anything we should be dealing with. I don't think the messengers themselves are bad, and I think the speaker is a very good person. Senkali is evil. Isahu, for as much as I love him, is evil.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, there's not a lot left. I think at this moment I'm most comfortable with just siding with Burnwell. And then
and letting these two entities kill each other.
we would still be aiding Weisgard probably, but it would be adjacently. It wouldn't be so entrenched in all of their beliefs. We're just running very low on options. And no matter what we do, we're gonna be killing people we don't want to kill.
Well, I mean,
Well, if there's people that are...
we do have... Well, we could just go back to Burnwell and just ignore the whole thing if we don't want to kill people we don't feel like killing.
I mean, the king is
But
coming here.
that in itself is a decision, and that in itself will lead to... The decision to make no decision will lead to death as well. So, really,
Probably more
there's no good options.
No, there really isn't. But the king
So what's
is
the least... What's the least bad option?
the lesser evil. I've been
Yeah.
trying to decide if there is a lesser evil, and I don't think there is. I really don't. Truly.
It's all grey.
There is no lesser evil, and maybe whatever we decide is the greater evil, but at least if we stick our... we draw a line in the sand somewhere. At least we can take comfort in whatever we decide. We can protect the king. We can align ourselves with him.
The King of Burnwell.
Yes.
You know,
He's been the most
I'm
reasonable.
reminded... Yes, ironically.
Somehow.
You know, I'm reminded of a phrase or a philosophy of thinking. If all of the options truly are bad and equally bad, we have really, if you boil it down, there's two options then. One option is to do nothing, which we've decided is a bad option in itself. And option two would be to pick a side. And I could convince myself that by picking a side, it depends on if we're talking about our own morality here, picking a side with the intention to do good might be better than deciding not to do anything.
That's probably
Does that make
true.
sense?
Yeah, that's a sound argument.
And what is your side? With intent to do good.
Well, I think Nerissa said it best. I think the best, if I were to pick a side, it would be Burnwell and the king.
So Weisgard.
Adjacently, yes. I am throwing it down there that
Your line in the sand, Nerissa, is no line. You're
well, I'm just
there's a
saying,
side to pick
making
here.
a delineation, and if working with Weisgard is part of aligning with Burnwell, I will do
Though
it.
I believe that the King of Burnwell is a good man, he is aligned with Weisgardians. and I am not.
God damn.
Then who would you rather go to?
Spending all this time again in Weisgard and meeting fellow Arcanists who I also believe are good people has helped me reconnect with who I think I should have been. And I am an Arcanist.
Do you think that's going to be enough?
Is it not possible that we can just somehow fundamentally and systematically change the outlook of Weisgard?
Apparently,
And
whoever is speaking to me is not of their pantheon. But when I spoke to Salo about it, he seemed scared.
I'm sure he is. Because he doesn't have his way to the land of the giants to bring them back to fight for him
That's...
when the dragons come to
that
burn
may
his
or
fucking
may
town down.
not be what it is. He said he's not ready to learn the truth about the secrets of their religion. Something that could change everyone's belief fundamentally.
About their extra god.
Maybe. Or about Althia's lover in the sea, or about Anam himself, I don't know.
Hmm?
You can still work with the Arcanists if you pitch yourself in with Burnwell.
I think you could. I think we can.
Burnwell allows Arcanists and magic. It is the free city.
I know it is. Until the dragons come. And the Queen of Weisgard declares martial law and says you stand with us or you stand against us.
And do you think the king will stand with Weisgard?
I do.
I don't think that he would allow his city to be put under the same law as Weisgard, though. That's what Weisgard is for.
I don't think
he
has the power to deny it.
It's still his city under his jurisdiction.
Yeah, I mean, he could go rogue and defy the Queen of Weisgard. But that would then possibly put a target on his kingdom. But I imagine if Weisgard
If we
is
all
embroiled...
decide the greater evil is the dragons, then maybe... maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't think we're going to exactly all agree. And that's fine. That's just how it is sometimes, and...
Let's just go live with Iskandia and live a nomadic
we
life.
take a ship and just go hang out. But I at least have to find out the truth about who brought me back. That is one thing that I have to do. And I choose to stand with Weisgard now during this possible attack. You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
I think that's a noble decision. We can all agree that there are good people here. There are innocent people that don't deserve to die. And I think the decision to want to protect that is noble.
I have to decide something somewhere. And I've been thinking a lot about it. And if you, just like that vampire who lives down there in the tunnels, who is empty and filled with nothing but hatred, and the dragon who kicked everyone out of their town and took a slave and turned him into a monster, like Senkali in the Moor, who preaches about love but knows nothing of it. If you stand in the way of the beautiful things in this world, of life. You meet the sharp end of my blade, and that's where I stand. You can stand with me. Just don't stand against me.
What's it gonna be?
I stand with you as a friend. But you keep on saying, I stand with these people now. That's why we're in this position. We continue to jump on the fence. Impaled on your blade, or impaled on the fence. I meet the sharp end either way.
So what will your decision be then, Kane, if not to stand with us, with Burnwell, and I suppose by proxy, Weisgard? What will your decision be? To stand with Senkali and the messengers?
I don't know where the Arcanists fully align themselves.
Do they have... If you want to align yourself with the Arcanists, the good ones that we saw, that will not stop our friendship. I will not turn against you. I would not hurt those people even if I was commanded to do so.
Wasa sees and feels the tension in the room. Looking around, she seems a little flustered, and she looks at you, Kane, and points towards her head.
I'll cast message to Wasa.
You talk a lot about picking sides. Why not convince those you want on your side to work together?
That's what I've been trying to do, but I do not see Weiss Guardians coming together.
And when have you spoke with them? The ones who make decisions.
Perhaps Salamir does not make decisions.
And perhaps he does. Or the rest of them. Or the Queen. I hear you have a chance to speak with them all. Maybe you can convince them that Arcanists are not so bad. Especially in the Shadow of Dragons.
I feel as though I have said those things before. And it is because of us Arcanists that the dragons plague the world in the first place. I will speak with the Queen.
Are you saying this out loud or just to Wasa?
Out loud.
Okay.
And just because I align myself in a specific direction does not mean I would stand against either of you. I said I stand with you as a friend first. But I would not aid Weisgard in destroying another way of life. Have we forgot them all?
Of course not. I don't agree with everything they do. Definitely not. Absolutely not. Everything I can try to change, I will. And I would not take orders, like I said, to hurt anyone I don't think deserves it. My help is not contingent on anything other than what I find to be sits well in my heart.
I would like to say that in regards to speaking with the Queen, surprisingly, we have not exhausted all methods of diplomacy at this moment. There are still people to talk to, and as far-fetched as it seems at the moment, it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility that we could change some minds. Be it the Queen, be it other people in Viceguard, or be it the King of Burnwell.
It's worth at least trying. Trying that first.
It's always worth a try.
Maybe you just haven't talked to the right people yet. I definitely wouldn't call the Nightbringer the right people.
Right, and there's
Of course he's not.
lots of people so far in Weisgard that we have yet to see. I suggest that we retire to our beds, and in the morning we'll see the Queen first thing.
Oh, apparently we have to be all dressed up to do that, so Salo's gonna send some people here to take our measurements, and they're going to make whatever we want to wear.
I assume our meeting won't be for a day or two.
However long it takes them to scrounge up something for us to wear that isn't this.
Right.
So be thinking about what nice outfit you want to wear, I guess.
I already have one in mind.
Oh, I do too. I've been thinking about it this whole time.
In the face of certain global warfare, we are thinking about what to wear to the party.
Look, they can't take everything from me, alright? I can be angry, but I can also have a little bit of fun.
That's true.
And on that note, with the glimmering hope that is the weave and wheel of clothing, you find yourselves retiring to your beds. And as you rest, Ersid, you hear something. Awoken by a message sent to you from far away. It is not often I contact someone like this. However, it is very easy to get a hold of you, Ersid.
Do you recognize this voice?
Yes, after some thinking and pondering, it comes to you as another message is sent. I am sorry. It is your friend from the moor, Senkali.
I knew it was Senkali.
I will have you know that in this project you have going for us, I have sent you some aid. They will arrive soon. Best regards, Mirada Venenosa. And the words hang in the air like poison at the end of a dagger. You find yourself contemplating in the deep dark of the night. And the moon shines through what could be the last of its light.